All right, man, we back. Horseshoe Sports Talk in the building. Let's talk about some Pistons. Let's do a preview video. I ain't gonna say real quick, but let's talk about them real quick. Appreciate it. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the videos. Appreciate the love, support. They kick off with the Pacers tonight, and I'll be covering that, man. And then I think the home opener is Wednesday, Thursday versus the Hawks. And they play 76ers Saturday. I don't know. I might go to one of the games. I was planning on the 76er game, but Blake is injured. He gonna miss at least 5 games, they saying today. Reggie, I think Reggie and Markieff gonna play, but Sayoko Diamba, or whatever his name is, rookie out. He got a little concussions, so I don't know how much he gonna contribute anyway. But it's Dre Day, you know. Andre Drummond got to come up big and prove that he deserved that 30. It averaged out to 38, 39 million a year extension. But looking at the team, to be honest, I think the team is improved from last year. It got better depth. You know what I'm saying? And really, the key is going to be health. Like I said before, Blake, Reggie, Andre Drummond has proven to be an Iron Man. A few injuries here. That's one thing we can't depend on him. He got great character and he's durable. But everybody else, Reggie, D-Rose, Blake Griffin, health concerns. So health is going to be a real key in how Dwayne Casey managed these dudes. Dwayne Casey can't be trying to win the championship every night. That's the problem. He can't be trying to win the championship every night. So he's going to have to manage his minutes, you know what I'm saying? But with more depth, they should be okay. You know, only got minutes you ain't got to really manage is Andre Drummond. But every now and again, I get a big fella a night off. You know, so he can stay fresh. But health is going to be a huge key to the Pistons' success. And then, development. What you going to get from Kyrie Thomas? What you going to get from Bruce Brown? What you going to get from Luke Kennard? You know, if Sayoko contribute this year, what you going to get from him? A lot of the young talent going to have to contribute. And if they contribute, they said they got alcohol delivery service. Ooh, that's a great idea. But hey, that's what's going to boil down to, man, is health and the development of the young guys. And I think for them to beat the 38 games that Vegas got them to over and under, I think those two are going to be the key. It's going to be that health, the management of minutes, and the youth. Now, if the youth can come in and contribute, Luke Kennard, Bruce Brown, Kyrie Thomas, and some of the other guys they got, Frazier, I think he's still on the team. I don't know if Sivy's still on the team. Tony Snell can contribute. Sayoko can come contribute. Derrick Rose can contribute a little bit off the bench. But if they get some contributions from the young guys and then the supporting cast, I don't think they're gonna have a problem with health and minutes. You know what I'm saying? Unless Dwayne Casey just start coaching stupid and just start running Blake into the ground, especially during that 15-17 game losing streak they had, which was idiotic to me. But nope, that's what I'm really looking at right there. And when you talk about Luke Kennard is a huge piece to what they're gonna be doing. You know, because he is the shooter on the team. He still is the only shooter, unless Kyrie Thomas he develops. But if Kyrie Thomas can develop, then I feel confident in that. But he's the only real shooter on the team. You know what I'm saying? Luke Kennard that I can think of. And if he can assert his aggressiveness and they can start running plays for him, I think he like the X factor. Yep, he the X factor. Because I think Dwayne Casey, he need to be injecting confidence into Luke Kennard. Running, you can just do what you did with Rip Hamilton. Run him off some screens, backdoor cuts, curls. Get him going off the ball, catching and shooting. Get him in the 2-man game with Andre. Get him in the 2-man game with Blake Griffin. They be leaving him out to dry. They be just letting the other Reggie dominate the ball, Blake dominate the ball, and then every now and again they'll hit an open Luke Kennard, and then he don't even be confident. He either gonna miss it or pass it on again. So they need to make him feel comfortable. They need to make him a primary scoring option. I'm not saying over Blake, but, you know, after that, I think he should be a primary scoring option. They need to get him hot. He need to be taking 20, 25 shots a game. And I think they need to run plays for him. And then let him run the two-man game, with Blake, Dre. You can do a two-man game with a lot of different guys with Luke Kennard. He can handle the ball pretty good. But they gotta put confidence in him and run plays for him. And a lot of times they just run plays through Blake Griffin, like, shoot. At the end of the day, run the play for Luke Kennard. And I think that's going to be huge. I think he the X factor on the entire team, man. I just don't think it's two ways around it. Because of his shooting and everything, he's a good scorer. He can put the ball on the ground. He can get it off the elbow. He can drive it. They got to get him going, man. On the ball, off the ball. Fuck running plays for Reggie. If it ain't for Blake Griffin and it ain't a two-man game and a lob to Andre Drummond, that offense needs to be going through Luke Kennard. Real talk. But he the X factor, man. He really, really the X factor. And if I had a secondary X factor, it's going to be, can Andre Drummond develop a post game, or can he develop into a great defender and not just a great rebounder? But really looking at the team, I think they improved, but I'm just looking at the East, and I'm not impressed by nobody. You know what I'm saying? I'm not impressed Al Horford with Philadelphia. I don't even know how that's going to work. Because you already got, if Ben Simmons don't shoot good, the paint going to be super clogged up. They're going to have to stagger a lot of those minutes out there. And I know Al can stretch it to the three-point line, but, they lost I said Joe Johnson. I meant they lost Jimmy Butler. Chicago, just looking at the competition, I just think whoever come out the West gonna win. Milwaukee, I'm not impressed. They gave away Brogdon. I'm not scared of Middleton. I'm not scared of Bledsoe if I'm any other teams. Toronto, they looked good last night, but hey, they not gonna win it. If Victor Oladipo come back pretty good, I like Indiana, man. I like Indiana to make a run, to be honest. If Oladipo come back, they just signed Sabonis. I think Sabonis and Turner can play together because Sabonis can shoot. But I really like what Indiana doing. I really like what Chicago doing, but they got to go through baby steps. Brooklyn, I like Brooklyn as well too, because Karis LeVert is the truth. Go blue. I like him as well. I like a few of these, a few got teams out there, but I don't think it's a clear-cut winner in the East. Because if Giannis ain't developed a jump shot, that team really not going nowhere. You know what I'm saying? That team, they got a funeral coming through and everybody trying to run. I swear Michigan drivers suck. But this looking at the East, I don't really fear none of those teams, to be honest. I like Brooklyn. I like Brooklyn a lot. I like Indiana. And, I like Boston. I think Boston going to be on the rise. I like a few teams. But if I had to say the ones that's going to make the playoffs, I say Brooklyn, no particular order. Indiana, if Victor Oladipo come back. Obviously Milwaukee. Obviously Toronto. I think that's 4. Philly, 5. My count right. Brooklyn, 6. And then I think 7 and 8 is going to be a dogfight. Orlando, Chicago, Miami. I like those 3 teams. So I think Detroit going to be battling with those 3 teams. Atlanta. I like what they did. They got the Hunter guy. They got Cam Reddish, Trae Young, John Collins III. I like what they doing. But just looking at the Pistons, man, it's just going to come down to health, coaching. And Dwayne Casey just got to do a better job, man, inflicting confidence or injecting confidence in Luke Kennard and running plays for him. If Luke Kennard don't play well, they not going. If he don't play up to his potential, they not making the playoffs. Because if he don't be healthy too, they're not making the playoffs. They need a lot out of him. People happy about the addition of Derrick Rose. It is what it is. I'm not ecstatic about it. But if they're in position to be in the playoffs, I'm excited because Derrick Rose can win you a game or two. To see that type of player, but during the regular season, he has some good games. But him and Reggie gonna be a partnership. They make up one full-time starting point guard. So I think it's right that Derrick Rose come off the bench. People don't. Oh, Derrick Rose Derrick Rose is not a full-time player no more. That is what it is, man. It's a phenomenal talent, but he's just not a full-time player. But that's no knock to me. For him to still be hooping off the knee injuries, but he'll contribute. He gonna contribute. He gonna have some games where he win the Pistons some games. He'll have some games where just because you don't start, people act like if you don't start, you ain't shit. He'll have some games, some Lewis Williams type games, some big games. He'll win in the fourth quarter. He'll win some games in the fourth quarter, but it's nobody I'm sitting here saying that we gonna have to depend on. I think we depend on Derrick Rose after the All-Star break. I think that's what his biggest contribution is gonna be after the All-Star break. And if he can, I mean, that's when he gonna, because Blake gonna be a little bit tired. You know what I'm saying? I think he also gonna make Andre Drummond a lot better, feeding him. He gonna have his impact. I think his biggest impact is gonna be Drummond and helping Luke Kennard out become a professional, like an aggressive professional. So I think, you know, from a morale standpoint, I think Derrick Rose is gonna bring a lot. Tony Snell, good defender. Looking forward to him. Thon Maker, he looked like he got bigger and stronger. People are like, oh, he ain't this. The Pistons should get rid of him. Like, shut the fuck up. Sorry. Just shut the fuck up. Excuse my French. Because it take time, man. It take time. Everybody don't hit the ground running, you know, coming into the NBA. He got to get stronger. He can shoot. He can play. Trust me. I think he's going to be an okay pro. Not saying he's going to reach his all-star, superstar potential that like Kevin Garnett got for him. But, hey, he just got to get bigger, stronger, get used to the NBA. Detroit, y'all be ready to just throw people away. And then they go off like Chris Middleton and they ball out. They go off like Aaron Aflalo and they ball out. It takes time to develop. You don't become a great pro in 1, 2, 3 seasons. Sometimes it takes some time for a lot of players to get acclimated, you know, in the NBA when people be writing them off. If he work hard, he got the physical talent. He got the physical talent. He just got to add some weight on. And he got to figure out he need to be posting up. And once he figure out he need to be posting up on the block, he'll be okay. You know, but just to like really wrap it up about Pistons, over under 38. It's a lot of tough games in the East. And then you go out west, it's some tough games out there. I'm not sure, to be honest. I'm not sure. I like what they done. Technically, I don't like what they done. I think they should have had a fire sale, but I understand they making one last run with the players, with the team they got. They making one last run with the team they got, and that's it. And if they just want to try to see what they got, I'm cool with it. But they got a lot of guys that just ain't been healthy. You know what I'm saying? From Luke Kennard, Derrick Rose, Blake Griffin, Reggie Jackson. And you count on a lot of the veteran players to get healthy. It's going to have to be a lot of load management. And with all the load management they're going to be doing, I would say, to be honest, I really don't know. I would say Blake already injured. I would say this team is probably a 38-team win. I'm gonna say right at 30. If I had to just be optimistic, I'd say they probably win 39, 40 games. But I think this team is a 38-win team, to be honest. Too much injuries, too much load management. But if they gonna be a 40-plus win team, it's gonna be off the muscle and off the strength of guys like Thon Maker developing, Kyrie Thomas developing, Bruce Brown developing, Luke Kennard developing, and it's gonna be off the strength of Andre Drummond proving that he a max player. Now, if all those things happen, they may be a 45, 46, 47, 50-win team. You know what I'm saying? If Drummond learn how to dominate in the paint, and he tough, and he learned to be a great defender, and he can demand the paint, and a lot of those, like just some of those guys develop, or Sayoko becomes that mystery guy. I definitely think that a 45 for 50-win team, that could be a 50-win team if all that happened. But what's the chances of two or three of those guys developing and what they should be? Seriously, what's the chance of Kyrie being a contributor and Bruce Brown developing a jumper, or Thon Maker starting to develop out of his potential, or Luke Kennard becoming aggressive and being healthy? You know what I'm saying? And then we're not even talking about Blake and Derrick Rose, I expect them to do what they gonna do. I expect them to, miss some games and then look spectacular some games. That my whole thing is Drummond and the young guys developing. But I would say the floor for the Pistons, the floor would probably be a 28-30 win team. The floor. And the floor might be even worse than that if some injuries kick in and they decide to mail it in. That's why I say 28-30. If they decide to mail it in, it may be worse than that. And just say, we going to trade and tank. The ceiling, I'm going to say the ceiling, if everything go right, I'm going to say the ceiling is going to be a 47-50 win team. But I'm going to say this again. Guys that's in their 30s, they don't usually get healthy in the NBA playing 82 games a season. So coaching going to be a key. What did Dwayne Casey do to develop these young guys? What is he going to do to get Luke Kennard involved? And what is he going to do to manage the team, manage the load? He got to manage Rose. He got to manage Jackson. Oh, and also Markieff Morris. I forgot about him. I like him a lot. You know what I'm saying? I like him a lot in Washington. So I like Markieff Morris a lot too. So they got a deep team, man. So I think the ceiling could be the sky for this team, man. But it's going to come down to defense. It's going to come down to them. Luke Kennard is my biggest X factor, man. And secondary is developing a lot of or Andre Drummond. But I'm excited. I don't have nothing to be optimistic else about in Detroit sports or Michigan sports. I mean, I might go to a couple high school basketball games or, some football state championship playoff games or something like that. But it ain't too much to be optimistic about, man. The Lions traded Quadre Diggs. I'm hurt about that. I really am. I think Darius Slay be next, but I'll talk about that later. Then Frederick Williams, he had a video. I think Frederick Williams had a video request. I'm going to accommodate that. But the Pistons will be battling for the last few playoff spots with Chicago, Orlando. Who else they got in there? Atlanta. I might be forgetting the team. But in the East, just to give y'all a breakdown of what I think, I really like Brooklyn. I like Boston because I think the camaraderie going to be there. I think Jason Tatum is going to be a sneaky MVP. Watch what I think he's going to have an MVP type season. Not saying he's going to be in the top 5, but defensively, offensively, I look for him to go off. They played Jaylen Brown. So, either one of them going to go. I like Boston a lot. The team I like the most to come out the East, I like Boston. Boston and Brooklyn. Philly, Joel Embiid always hurt. I got to just see more of Philly. But Boston and Brooklyn, I like them. And Indiana is my sleeper in the East. Those are my 3. My young teams I really, really like. I like Chicago. I love Chicago, what they doing. Wendell Carter, Lauri Markkanen, like Wasada Baby say, big ass chopper look like Lauri Mark. I love Lauri Markkanen. I think he could be a better defender. Zach LaVine, love him. That Kobe White kid they got in North Carolina. I love what Chicago doing, man. Chicago got a lot of talent. Chris Dunn. They got a lot of talent, but talent don't mean nothing. You got to have coaching, and they got to fit. So I don't really know about them. Orlando, I love Vujovic. That's one of my favorite big guys. Him, Jokic. I love those 2 big guys. Joel Embiid, I love Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid is a savage. I love them, but my favorites is gonna be probably Boston to come out the East. Boston, Brooklyn, and my sleeper gonna be Indiana if Oladipo come back. Philly, they just ain't never healthy, and I just don't like the way they got rid of Jimmy Butler. He was their shooter. But other than that, man, I look for the Pistons to battle for the 7th, 8th seed, 6th seed maybe, but I think that'd be all right. I think that'd be all right. I think Casey is good enough to make some of those adjustments, but they need Luke Kennard to step up, and they need Andre to step up and play like he won a Supermax deal. But if it don't go right by the trade deadline in February, I look for them to move all these guys. I look for Reggie to be gone. I look for Blake to be gone. I look for Dre to be gone. So if it ain't looking good, I think it's going to be a fire sale in Detroit. And they're going to start over in a new decade. But I'm a long way from that. They definitely upgraded, at least they roster with a lot of help. So they'll be able to load management back better this year. So I'm going to say this team probably a 38, 39, 40 win team. Just my humble opinion. Appreciate the love, support. Don't forget we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you got a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Just keep sharing the videos. Want to make a donation, link subscription. One time for the one time. Mercy Sports Talk. We gone.